Okay, so have you ever, seen a couple out together and thought, whoa, it's like a pretty big age gap there?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Today, we're going to be taking a deep dive into a specific part of that whole age gap thing.
Okay.
Talking about age gap hookups. And specifically, we're going to be looking at experiences with hooking up with someone at least 5 years older.
Interesting.
I'm so excited to really get into this with you because I know you've got such a unique perspective on all these social trends and stuff.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
So the source material that we're working from today just jumps right in with the question, have you hooked up with someone 5 or more years older than you? What do you think about that question? Why do you think that's the question that the researchers focused on?
Well, I mean, it's interesting, right? Because a 5-year age gap isn't a huge age gap or anything, but it's definitely enough to be noticeable, I think.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why they chose it, because it's that point where things start to get maybe a little bit more outside of the norm
Right.
for some people.
Yeah, really. It's that point where it's okay, is this socially acceptable or not?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And it makes you think about all these societal rules that we have about age and relationships.
Right.
Are there actually rules? Or is it just this unspoken thing?
Totally. And how do those kind of unspoken rules actually play out in people's real experiences? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do you think people would even say if you asked them that question?
Oh, man. I bet you'd get some pretty interesting answers.
Right.
It'd be fascinating to see, if there were any, patterns in the responses.
Yeah, do men and women answer differently, or
Oh, great.
do people from different places or backgrounds or whatever?
Yeah, do older people answer differently than younger people? All that stuff.
I would love to see that data.
Me too.
Unfortunately, we don't have that data for
Yeah.
this deep dive.
Yeah.
But I'm really curious, what do you think some of those answers would be? What kind of trends do you think we'd see?
Well, I don't have a crystal ball or anything, but I can tell you that, when you look at trends in, dating apps, for example, you see that women in their 20s tend to get way more messages from older men than from guys their own age.
Right.
But for men in their 20s, it's the opposite. They usually hear more from women their own age or even younger.
Oh, wow. So it's even in those apps where you're just looking to
Right.
hook up.
It still seems like those societal expectations about men being with younger women are there.
It's so interesting, right?
Yeah, really is.
These things are so ingrained, it's wild.
They really are.
So we talked about men being with younger women, but what about older women dating younger men?
Oh, yeah.
Do you think that's becoming more accepted?
I think so. I mean, you see it more and more in pop culture, right?
Yeah.
There's that show Cougar Town, and then even going way back, there's
The Graduate.
Totally. And there's so many other examples.
Yeah. So it seems like there's definitely a shift happening, but it's probably going to take a while for those really deep-seated norms to completely disappear.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It makes you wonder though, why are people even into these age gap hookups in the first place?
Yeah.
Is it just a physical attraction thing, or is there something more going on?
I think it's got to be more than just physical, right? I
Yeah.
mean, there's that whole element of curiosity, wanting to try something new or different.
Yeah.
And then for some people, maybe it's about feeling validated or trying to feel younger again, or even wanting to learn from someone with more experience,
Oh yeah, that's interesting. The idea of mentorship or something.
Right.
But that also makes me think about the power dynamics,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because when there's a significant age difference, there's always the potential for one person to have more power than the other.
Definitely.
And how does that affect even a casual hookup?
Yeah, I mean, think about it. What if one person is controlling the money or using their age and experience to kind of manipulate the other person?
Right.
That's how those power imbalances can happen, even in a casual situation.
Absolutely. And that's just not cool.
No, not at all.
It's so important for everyone to feel safe and respected no matter what their age is.
Exactly. And respect has to go both ways,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's not just about respecting older people, it's about respecting everyone,
100%.
regardless of age.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
Yeah.
We talked about societal norms and individual motivations and those potential power dynamics.
We sure have.
So, what's the big takeaway here for our listeners?
Well, I think the main thing is that age gap hookups are complicated.
Yeah.
Just like any relationship, really.
Right.
There are all these different factors at play.
Totally.
You've got societal influences and personal desires and potential problems to watch out for. And I think what makes this whole topic so interesting is that it makes us think about our own beliefs and biases about age and relationships.
It's like a mirror, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It shows us what we really think.
And it challenges us to be more open-minded and understanding.
Yeah, I love that.
And, at the end of the day, it's all about communication.
Always.
Having those open and honest conversations with each other is so important.
So true. Okay, well, this has been such a fascinating deep dive.
Yeah, it has.
And I know there's so much more to explore on this topic.
Oh, yeah. Tons.
So if you're interested, I encourage you to, do your own research and learn more about it.
Definitely.
Until next time, keep diving.
Keep diving.
Bye.
Bye.